coming in 2021. Yeah. That was the other one I was debating was Batman Death of the Family. But
Oh yeah, there was that one too, huh?
there's already too much Batman in the world.
So yeah, it looks cool. I'll check it out. I'm kind of excited for some more brutal animated superhero action.
I'm excited for it. I mean, and it is a little more brutal. I just wouldn't compare it to The Boys.
Okay, just not as that bad.
Yeah. Having said that, I mean, I'm excited for it. I read the first like 20 or 30 chapters of Invincible or whatever. It's an interesting concept. At least it's got that semi level of realism. If I had to compare it to anything, I guess I'd say more like kind of a kid's version of Watchmen or something.
Okay.
I don't know. It's not like full of political commentary, just that kind of level of like street violence and like stuff like, yeah, superheroes kill people, but they're not just necessarily all total fucking pieces of shit like they are in The Boys. Because that's
I have to watch the new episode of this week yet, so I haven't got to check it out.
You didn't check out the season finale?
No, oh, is it season finale already?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, man,
Yeah.
that was pretty.
Eight episodes.
That was pretty quick.
Yeah.
That was pretty. Really, 8 episodes only? I feel like it should be
Yeah.
more already by now.
It absolutely should be. The 10 is the minimum. We've
10
talked
is
about.
good. I would have been happy with 10.
We had talked about for a long time the different, lengths that TV shows take in the best one, and we had basically determined that Luke Cage set the perfect number at like 12 or 13. And then other shows after it kind of confirmed it. You had a couple different shows that had hit that number and were like perfect. Daredevil season 2 hit that number. You know what I mean? The 13 episode mark, 10 to 13 or 15 episodes seemed to be the right number for something like that, like being released online. And the Netflix style is still the style to go, so much so that when they can't, they still imitate it by group releasing videos ahead of time. You know what I mean? They released what was the first 3 episodes of The Boys, and then every week they released an episode.
Yeah, it was a weekly release after that.
So, like, they know that the Netflix model is the model that works best.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Or else they wouldn't try to copy it when they have the option to just do it every week. They could have just released it every week. You know what I mean? The reason they don't do that is Netflix has proved for a long time that is the model that people like to watch, is to have all of the season, watch all of the season.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, man. Like, it's just too few. It's too few for what they were doing, I feel like. And I don't know. You'll have to see the last episode, I guess, before you make your judgment or whatever call. But for me, at least, the issues with it were really that length more than anything. Was like, you had this length, but then I also felt there was a lot of unnecessary stuff going on that you spent time. So I wonder, like, did they not have enough to write for this season? Did they not have enough time? But if they didn't have enough time, why did they film all these, like, kind of extra scenes that I feel, especially with the limited amount of time they had, were superfluous? And, like, and there's not, like, a lot of them, but the ones that they do it on are usually big time investments.
Mm-hmm.
And I think my biggest example for the season is fucking the whole scene with the Deep in his gills.
Well, I am glad they brought that back around, though, into season 2, at least a little bit. They weren't just going to be like, they left that hanging.
I don't want him in season 2 at all. He's not important. Even now, the way he was in the story, you could have took him out entirely.
Mm-hmm.
You could have removed the Deep entirely from the story and it would not have affected the last piece.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, the church would still approach A-Train.
That's why I was curious. I was wondering how they were going to, without him, would they have still done it, But I don't know.
They kept him, I think, to
do the whale scene?
The whale, but mostly my cousin made the best point, is like they keep him around on purpose as a joke. Like
Yeah,
he is
that's very true.
he is the Aquaman joke. Like when you think it can't get any worse for Aquaman, then
It's gonna get a little worse.
it's gonna get a little worse. See, then he joins a weird religious superhero cult, and then you know what I mean, and gets into like fake marriage proposals. It was just something. And once again, the overall edition of the Deep, I can look past. Like he has a lot of screen time, relatively speaking.
He does, yeah.
Especially for a character who really, once again, does not affect the overall story in a heavy way.
Yeah, it just seems like it's a side kind of thing they're doing with this.
It's definitely a little tiny side story. And I don't mind little tiny side stories, but that fucking Gil scene is like 10 minutes long. That means it's 1/6 of an episode, which means it's 1/56 of the whole season. That's bad. Bad.
But like, it's there.
I can excuse it when you have 10 or 12 episodes. At 8 episodes, when you're really grasping for like time, I felt like it was just such a big like, did we really need this in the scene? And it was cool. I like the whole like becoming comfortable with your body message and like
that was kind of hilarious to me. Like that was funny.
That was fun.
But you know what made me laugh though? It was Patton Oswalt too, though.
Yes, and that was what made it funny for about 10 seconds. About 10 to 30 seconds, that was hilarious. And then it drug on and on. And once again, I want to go time it and see how long the scene actually is, and just put it and say, this is this much percentage of the whole season. And that's fucking ridiculous. The other ones are like little things that they overdid. Like, I get the murder porn shock factor, but there was no need to have that much murder porn without like actually making it matter.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the scenes were extra, but like I let go. Like for one, I can't tell you that one, but there's one scene at the last episode that's extra, but not extra in that it's at least a character kind of development or a thing. Because I'll accept shit like that. So like the whole thing with Butcher and his father, right?
Mm-hmm.
That realistically, with a little bit maybe of the last episode, it has nothing to do with the story.
Mm-hmm.
That's just to give you character insight into Butcher.
Yeah, just that's all it is really to me.
Which is, I'm glad for that. That's fine if we have character insight that matters, right? It informs their decisions and it makes you understand why they are doing things or have done things in the past.
Or why he's a dick.
Right, you know. I mean,
and then why he kind of latches on to Huey a little bit with his
mean,
brother.
there's a lot of things that come from that scene as that season goes on. I mean, even thinking about it, because you've seen 7, right? Episode 7?
I've seen all the episodes except
so the whole scene where he's talking with Vogelbaum is another big callback for that.
Okay.
Remember, he's saying he's like, he was a nice kid, but I didn't need a nice kid. Yeah. I needed him to be hard. I needed him to be strong.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't even want it, and so it's pulling back to compare to Butcher's story, which is the same kind of basic concept. He's a piece of shit, asshole kind of dad. Which, you know, not speaking on that, but just speaking on the fact that that's character development. Then, right, you have other things, such as the sex scene with Starlight and Huey. It's totally meaningless. It doesn't change the dynamic of their relationship. It doesn't affect the further outcomes later on. It's basically a fucking scene for the sake of a fucking scene.
Mm-hmm.
Which, up and down, but once again, had that changed their dynamic after that, or made any big impacts on like choices, I wouldn't be so irked. But once again, it was a scene that I didn't feel was important or necessary to progress either the characters or the story, as opposed to the crazy murder sex that Stormfront and Homelander had. I guess not murder sex, but violent banging sex or whatever in the... Like, that at least served a purpose in the character story and development. Granted, that one was a bit long, but they were just doing that for shock value. I know why they did that. That was a production choice, and it wasn't a bad choice. It was just...
No.
Yeah. Whereas I can firmly and easily stand behind the fact that having a talking Patton Oswalt guild for 10 minutes of your series is probably a bad production decision. Otherwise, besides those notes, I really like the whole season. The whole season was great.
Yeah, it's been good so far. So I have to finish it up. But yeah, for tonight, hopefully, we'll see if I watch it if I can.
It's tough,
But
man. It's the list of things that we have to watch. Like I still have to go watch Birds of Prey.
oh, you still haven't watched Birds of Prey yet, huh?
No, I just haven't
Okay.
gotten. I wasn't gonna go to the theaters, and I haven't been willing to pay for it. So
No.
isn't it
It
on
may be-
HBO Max or something?
That's what I was gonna say. You may, I think it is actually already on there. So you may just just
That's
sign up for
probably
HBO
that.
Max and just go on there.
I get free HBO Max with my internet, but
That's what I was saying. I might as well just. Oh, okay. With the internet, they even give it to you. Okay, well, just there we go.
yeah, it's part of Xfinity's package is HBO Max for free.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I would just watch them there.
Just set up the TV.
Let's see then. I didn't really get to. Well, actually, I did get to. Oh, I did get to start watching The Haunting of Bly Manor, um,
How's
which
that?
I'm enjoying it so far. I like the last season. Well, I guess you can't really technically say it was the last season because it's a totally different title and a totally different family, totally different house, everything. But it's just in the same
Universe.
with the, I guess, same universe, I guess you could say, or just with the same title. Who knows? But anyways,
yeah,
the Haunting of Bly Manor has been pretty good so far. I actually liked the Hill House maybe a little bit better. At the beginning, at least, because it gave me that real horror factor at the very beginning. And first episode didn't do that too much because I remember in the first episode, the last one, it's the kids being violently waked up by their father saying we need to get out the house right now, and then just them crying and asking where their mother is and just saying she's still in the house and just leaves. That's a very good start to me. But the first episode for Bly Manor was kind of soft, I guess, on that spot. I was kind of wanting a hard, really,
intro.
yeah, intro, just like they did that one. But it's fine, totally fine with me. They're going a different route with this one, kind of feels like.
And we've talked about how there's different types of shows and comics. Some that give you a real early hook, and then some that take time to build.
Which this one is kind of being one of those, and it's keeping me latched on though enough that I'm wanting to find out more of what's going on in each episode, and
that's good. I think it's important to have especially when you watch a series, to gauge it from the aspect of knowing what the series is trying to do. If you, for instance, if you don't like horror movies and you go watch a horror movie and complain about it, I think we all know who's at fault. You know what I mean? And so you shouldn't go into like a slow burner expecting everything to just pop off at the first episode. You know what I mean? If it did, it would ruin the pacing for the rest of the story. It's just not supposed to work that way.
This one, yeah, definitely different with the pacing for sure. I do like they still keeping the hidden ghost factor in though.
It's
they did
cool.
that last season. That was pretty cool. Yeah, because I didn't notice that until it was actually posted up saying, hey, there was I think maybe 70 hidden ghosts throughout the show, and I had to watch an episode again, look through, and I was like, oh wow, there really is just a random ghost just chilling right there. So it's really cool that they kept that little factor kind of going low, these little Easter eggs, just kind of looking out for the ghost throughout the film.
I feel like, and this is it's a contention point, but Easter eggs do not make a good film, but they are a sign of a good film. Because to take extra time to think of Easter eggs and incorporate them into the film, you have to have, one, a greater understanding of the film as a whole, right? And also a decent understanding on how to incorporate those Easter eggs.
Exactly. I mean, because there's not just one ghost that lives within the house. There are several ghosts that live within the house, and you start to learn, I guess, a little bit more. I kind of looked it up a little bit online, but there's one called the Plague Doctor. He's wearing the plague mask with the looking bird mask face, kind of.
Right.
He's out throughout the house. There's a living doll that stands throughout the house, and they're all just several ghosts that are. The little girl even kind of shows that she's hiding. She has a little house, a playhouse and she has her own homemade ghosts that she's made, and they're all kind of the ghosts that are spread out throughout the house there. So that, yeah,
It
pretty
sounds
cool.
interesting. I like the concept of a lot of ghosts. I think that concept stuck with me from 13 Ghosts. In
That's
that
all.
having
13
in
Ghosts.
oh
It's
dude,
really good.
classic, great. I mean, not really classic, but now classic shit. It's probably 20 years old now,
Yeah.
almost.
Came out in the early 2000s, right? Like maybe
Yeah,
2001.
I think maybe 2122. Let's see, 13 Ghosts.
I know it's a remake, but
Yep, 2-1 horror thriller. It is a remake. I actually still have to go watch the original 13 Ghosts. Having said that, I mean it's obviously good. But the reason I think it was so good is all these ghosts were well thought out and fleshed out as individual characters that had their own interactions and
yeah, it's not
character.
too much like the 13 Ghosts a little bit. They focus on one specific one that the daughter kind of says that is, the malevolent one throughout the house. It's this lady within the lake that lives in the house, and she actually doesn't even keep that ghost in her playhouse. She always actually hides it underneath the drawer. So I think the other ones are more of like not good ghosts, but just like more that just chill, hang out around the house. But it's more of they're more focused on this lake lady. So we need to figure out a little bit more. I don't. Still a couple more episodes. Not that long. I think it was only 9 episodes, maybe 10.
Which I was gonna say maybe it's slow burning because it goes longer, but if that's the case, that's not what the
It started to pick up. I mean, after
couple
third
episodes.
episode. Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah. So it didn't take too long. I was
No,
like,
and for most
but
people, I'd say like 3 episodes is kind of, even for me, is the limit. If within 2 or 3 episodes you haven't caught my attention by then, and I have no significant investment in the show, I probably am not going to continue. So and once again, it's everyone's cup of tea. If you don't like it at the start, no point in watching it, I guess. But
yeah,
to remember that not every show is going to pop off in the first episode is something that
no,
One Piece taught me very well. Like
exactly.
like people, and once again, don't believe the hype of you have to read 100 chapters for One Piece to get, or watch 100 episodes for One Piece to get good. No, that's not how it works. How it works is this is a long burning story, and the early parts of the story are used to set up the later parts of the story. So they're a little more procedural.
You have to kind of watch everything.
You really don't. I mean, honestly, for a decent for the deeper emotional connection, sometimes you could, but I'm fairly confident I could drop people into various parts of One Piece several hundred episodes in, and while you would obviously be lost on some of the details, the show does a good job of filling them in consistently. It's a weekly running shonen show. It continuously shows flashbacks, talks about old episodes, so it's done like a shonen show. Now, that doesn't mean you should start on episode 500, but I've told people before, like, there's actually a movie you can watch and skip like 100 episodes almost.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's called, let's see, One Piece episode of, or, there we go. What is that? Episode of East Blue? I think so. And so basically the first several arcs had been compiled into movies. Like most of the huge sections of the arc. So like this one... Oh wait, is this before or after? Yeah, no. And so this one, how it does it is it takes all of the characters and breaks them down into an episode of probably 30 minutes. So I think it's like 2.5 hours long total. And it just breaks them down. I've actually never watched the movies. And it doesn't break them down like some YouTuber like, this is Sanji. No, it's like, it's like just nice story. Flashes in of what was actually happening in the anime. I believe they do remastered footage of that, all the anime scenes.
They're just basically taking probably scenes from the anime shows and just
redoing,
piling into. Oh no, they did that Dragon Ball Z movie, the resurrection of
kind of, except
was it resurrection or was the other one?
It was both of them actually.
Yeah,
Both
and
of
if
them
you
are
because
done
you
that
could
way.
technically skip all those episodes of Dragon Ball Z, and I was like, damn it! I was like, I could have just watched that movie and skipped all those episodes.
Literally, you
But
can
it's still
skip like 50 episodes. It's
it's still
crazy.
good to watch. But still, though, it's
Um,
just like, dang, that whole movie explained all of that.
but yeah, it's just one of those ones where it's and once again, you will, even with that nice cool breakdown, it's a 2-hour movie breaking down nearly 60 to 100 episodes probably of content. There are details not there. You're missing things that may come up later, but you have all the information that you need. You know what I
Okay.
mean? It's kind of like starting a Thor comic or a Spawn comic. Like, if you haven't read the first couple hundred, he's going to try to get some info to you for new readers to become interested in the old stuff. But he's still going to have to write the story in a way that it's palatable to new readers.
Mm-hmm.
And so the story's written that way a lot, where it's it's a kid's story. As much as, like, I'll do this and that, it's 100% a... Best way I've ever found to describe it is a combination of, like, Harry Potter meets Lord of the Rings meets, like, the Magic School Bus. Because its universe progression is Harry Potter. It starts as a kid's story and progresses its way to more adult topics.
That got very adult towards the end.
To be fair, everyone's always like, One Piece is so kiddish, but, like, you see someone get murdered in, like, episode 2. Like, granted, it's a kid's show, so it's off screen basically, but
Okay,
they're very, like, not like, even though it's a kiddish show, there's all kinds of people who die. There's all kinds of more adult topics that make their way. And as I said, as you go farther and you get deeper and deeper into the universe, which is why I compare it to Lord of the Rings, it probably has one of the most fleshed out universes I've ever seen. The only people who probably have a bigger, better, more expansively understood universe is Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, and Marvel, I guess. Marvel and DC as a whole. Otherwise, I would say One Piece beats pretty much every single other fictional universe in terms of world building, character depth. Like, this dude has created several hundred years of history. He actually designs the geography for everywhere you visit. So, like, every place you visit in the anime, he has drawn it as a map so that you can see the shape of the island, the buildings, everything. Like, he makes individual unique cultures, races, socioeconomic design impacts. Is really very complicated for a kid's show. That's the best way I can describe it. That's why, once again, I never tell people you're gonna like One Piece, because some people don't. It's just the nature of anything. Like, not everyone likes everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, let's see then. I was gonna go off some other things off my list here. I was gonna say the Animaniacs is coming back, which we heard a couple months ago that was happening, but it feels to be like they're going, the same way that they did with the originals, which is great. They did a really awesome intro trailer to it. They had the Jurassic Park scene where he, Dr. Grant and I forget the other lady's name, but they finally land on the island and he takes them to show them the dinosaurs finally, right? And Dr. Grant goes, he looks up and he's like, pulling off his glasses, like, oh, like he's amazed because it's supposed to be the dinosaurs he's supposed to see, but it's actually the Animaniac characters that he's seeing. And they make fun of it too because he's like, these aren't reruns, are they? He's like, no, they're not. And it's even Steven Spielberg that's in the show too.
Well, yeah, it's because that's his creation.
No, I know, he comes in and explains it too to them, like, it's not reruns. And he said something too that was really made me laugh too. You have to watch the trailer. It's really good.
Do you think they'll clip us if we show the trailer?
I don't know. You know what? Just show it, because there was another thing that was funny. They talked about Pinky and the Brain too. They made a joke about it, and it was hilarious.
If they clip us, oh well, who cares?
It should be fine. It's a really short, like. Well, let me see here. I'll look it up for you.
It's like 3 minutes, but
on my end it says it's about 140. So
this must be somebody else's. I gotta find the original one then.
We might be good.
There we go. 131. That looks better. All right, Hulu. Don't flag us, you bitch. All right, let's see what's going.
Let this be a lesson to all. Wherever there is stupidity, we'll be there.
Are you pondering what I'm pondering?
They better give us a new Pinky in the Brain.
It's Yakko and Wacko and our sister Dot.
Right.
Time for Animaniacs. All right, there's a lot of pressure on our first lines. Maybe something reminiscent of the first season, but modern to show that we're not your dad's Animaniacs. We're back.
We're recording Animaniacs, which includes Pinky and the Brain. And Yakko, Wacko, and Dot.
Hello.
We all love this show and these characters so much, and the script so far.
I don't think this is it.
Funny. It's going to be.
This
I was
is-
gonna say this isn't it.
This is not it.
It starts off with
Yeah, I was like, this is not it. Where's the first look trailer? Is this it? No, this is probably the same one, right?
Let this be a lesson to all.
Yeah, no, this is still. All right, why is it not the first thing to come up? That's the real question. That's poor tagging. All right, let's see. There we go. No, this just came out September 14th. It's not it. Where the do I find this? Oh, there it is. All right, there it is. It's just on Hulu. It's just the Jurassic Park. Oh wow, they got that new cell shading.
Alan, this species of cartoon has been extinct since 1998.
Oh, wow.
I mean, these haven't been seen on TV since the golden era of animation. And what?
Wow.
It's the Warner Brothers.
And the Warner sister.
That's He did it. That crazy son of a gun actually did it. Clean vectored outlines, widescreen format.
These don't look like reruns.
They're not. I reanimated them. We are gonna make a fortune with this show. How zany are they? To the max. Of course. Then there's Pinky and the Brain.
Pinky and the Brain? You said you're bringing back Pinky and the Brain?
Say it again.
yeah. So it looks like they took it down.
God damn it! And we got fucking a minute in! Damn it, Warner Brothers, you sons of bitches! Actually, who owns this now?
Welcome.
It's the Warner Brothers still.
Fucking sons of bitches!
Oh wait.
Okay.
It came back on. No, it came on now.
Alright. We must have just had some issues. Alright, that's alright.
Okay, there we go.
Alright, yeah, that's fine. No, it looks good. It's very reminiscent.
Well, at least
in a lot
you
of...
got to see it. That's all that matters.
That's
for
all
right
that
now.
fucking matters for now. It looked good.
Everyone else, you can check it out. It's the new Hulu Animaniacs.
It's gonna be
show.
under Animaniacs Jurassic Park. It will not show up first under the trailer. It's
That's
weird.
what they've put it under.
Yeah,
okay.
it's because I don't know why it's whatever. What's cool is I will say that was an interesting trailer. I will say without the other stuff I had seen, I'd be a little worried about the actual amount of zaniness because that trailer was very tame. But once again, I had seen the one we had watched before where it was like them. Like, we're bringing it back, and it's the actors.
Yeah.
I had seen that one, and that one's showing a lot of their classic Animaniac goodness. And what I will say, while their actions weren't necessarily super zany, they did stay with a very classic Animaniac style of animation. Not the actual coloring, but the style of animating, the jokes
feels
that
like
come.
the same, yeah.
It's very much...
Stephen Bill.
I mean, even once again, besides, that's not the actual animation. That's just the characters. So the actual animation, the way they move.
Oh, okay. You're talking about, okay.
Yeah, so the way that they're like, even their facial. So one of the big examples, obviously, being stuff like, all right, little things like when they're looking over and he lifts up her jaw. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay, yeah. That's what kind of make me feel like it feels the same.
Yes, and so their actions are very reminiscent. I will say that the trailer itself was tame, but it's because they were very much trying to just get across the basic message of the Animaniacs are back and this is not a rerun. Like, it was very plain and it was good. It was done very well.
Very good joke. Very good joke.
And the animation stuff keeps going. Like, I remember at one point something's like sticking out of her ears or some shit. Like,
one part was just like they randomly just like, oh, we're just gonna throw Jeff Goldblum, sexy Jeff Goldblum in there.
I love that he like puts his hand on the other dude. He's like, get your hand off, Jeff Goldblum.
Don't touch me.
Don't touch me. Well,
You're all oily. You're oily right now. They put too much.
Jeff Goldblum, why are you so oily?
They put too much oil in your hair.
No flies on me, Jeff Goldblum. But no, it looked really good. I'm excited to see how they're gonna go. I will say, Animaniacs has always been that show for me that was like. I
never appreciated it until I got a little older, because it was one of those shows that I could not like get into as a kid. I thought it was too. I don't know. I don't know why I just didn't get into it too much.
I feel like the other shows going on at that time were very competitive with it. You had like
maybe that's what
Pinky
it was.
and the Brain. You had the Baby Looney Tunes, I think it was. Or
That's what I was more into. I liked more the Looney Tunes. What was it called? Dang it! I know what you're talking about. But,
you know the one, yeah. I can't remember the exact run on it, but
that one's on Hulu as well, I think.
Which is funny, but yeah, I think it is. But I think
I did like that they mentioned the Pinky and Brain stuff.
No, and the fact that I think they're obviously not actually bringing Pinky and the Brain back yet, but they're bringing them back in Animaniacs, which they did show up in Animaniacs.
They used to do like
they were shared
they got their
universes. I mean, even when they had their own show, which I can't hear it.
Yeah, because I think Animaniacs, they were there first, right? And then after that, they developed a show for them. Because I think they got so popular from there.
Oh, it accidentally went.
But it looks good. Yeah, I'm excited to check it out. But it said it was 2021, right? Was that the release date?
I think so. Did it say?
Or maybe 2020. It says right here, Animaniacs 2020.
So it's got to come out soon then. If they're planning a 2020 release, they only got a couple months.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for November. No, I'm gonna go for December release. What did you think about the MODOK pictures?
I don't like claymation.
Not for this style, at least. I love claymation, but just not.
Claymation is meant for Tim Burton and fucking. That's about it. I can name every claymation film I enjoy is basically a Tim Burton film that I can remember.
I like Wallace and Gromit, and
Wallace and Gromit are pretty alright. But once again, there's
some of the other stuff that they do, like Coraline and
Coraline was okay. I feel like.
What was it? Frankenweenie, Paranorm.
Wasn't Paranorman also?
I don't think he did those ones.
He didn't do Coraline, but I thought he did Paranorman.
Maybe he did. Who knows?
Nah, it might not be. I'm sure because there's a bunch of different directors and stuff. For all
because the studio that really focuses on that is the Locky Studios, or I can't even pronounce those.
Laika, yeah. Laika Studios.
You know what? It says
Chris Butler, Sam Fell for Paranormal.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There we go.
And then Caroline looked like it was done by Neil Gaiman. Somebody?
Oh, really? Well, I know he wrote the book, didn't he?
Okay, that's what it is. It's the book is Gaiman, and Henry Selick did the screen adaptation.
Okay. Yeah, so they did that. Kubo and the Two Strings was okay. Missing Link was okay. Box Trolls I liked.
Yeah, it's for me, like, besides Wallace and Gromit and... Yeah,
and then I just like all the old school stuff that Ray Harryhausen did back in the day with, like, Jason and the Argonauts and Sinbad and the Seventh Voyage.
Yeah, but that's like fucking... Fuck, how old now?
Oh yeah, those came out in the 60s and 70s.
That's and I like that stuff, but it don't look good.
I still love it. It's one of those.
It's one of those ones where you watched it as a kid and it's a classic, story, so you love it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's great things in it. Isn't the owl or whatever? What's the fuck his name?
Oh yeah, he did some crazy stuff that really.
And I'll say, like, it's not that once again, that claymation is bad in general. It's just I almost never see a lot of good claymation, like claymation that not even that stands the test, but that like breaks out of its mold and is just good. Like Tim Burton's what is it, Night Before Christmas?
Mm-hmm.
That's genre breaking. Nobody gives a shit that that's done in claymation. Nobody even mentions that it's done in claymation half the time. it's genre breaking. Same,
yeah,
honestly. Gromis and Wally and Gromis,
one of my favorites. Yeah,
are similar, but in a different way. They're not necessarily genre breaking. They're like not cult forming, but like they're popular as Wallace and Gromit. It doesn't matter if you do them in claymation or 3D, you would still get a popular Wallace and Gromit. Their characters are like self-contained entities that do claymation, and are primarily based. I'm sure some people would have issues, but the Wallace and Gromit's interactions aren't like heavily based on the claymation stuff. You know what I mean? Oh, you know what? There is another one. Didn't Chicken Run do claymation?
Oh yeah, Chicken Run was another one. Yeah,
there we go.
Classic.
That one. But again, a lot of these are not recent movies. Coraline's 2009, but Paranorman's probably...
It takes a very long time. They admit that it takes them a very, very long time to do it. So you gotta kind of give them a break on that, because it's like, I don't know how those guys can do it. Like, just picture.
I mean, it's really not that different from old school animation, just with pictures and modeling.
I know,
but
just like I've heard that these guys are like, in 1 minute they'll be like, yeah, there's about 1,000 pictures in that 2 minutes right there. Yep. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's a lot. But yeah, I watched it. Actually, I think it's on Netflix. There's a documentary for their studio. If you ever want to check it out, it's really cool just to see, like the backdrops that they do for all their stuff and how they just do everything's kind of cool too.
Okay, they did that one. That one's one. I was about to say, I was like, I'm trying to look at something in their collection that I'm a big fan of, and the only thing is Corpse Bride.
That was another good one too. I love Corpse Bride too as well.
I do need to watch Kubo and the Two Strings though. I've heard that was actually pretty good.
That one was pretty good. I did enjoy Kubo and the Two Strings.
I haven't even heard of Missing Link, so I can't judge it on that. I can only judge it on Coraline.
Missing Link was pretty good too. That was with Robert Downey Jr. in that one too. I think he played the Sasquatch in that one.
Oh, that's funny. And then once again, some of it I get, and some of it's like, some of it looks. That's what gets me with claymation, is some of it looks really good. Like, they do a really good job, and the scening and the lighting look amazing.
Oh, right.
And then sometimes it looks like a clay figure standing in the middle of a table. Not often, but like, even like I'm just looking at the thumbnail of Missing Link, like for the video, and it's, you know how it previews the different thumbnails and sections, and it's like, all right, yeah, this looks really good. And then it flashes to sections like, it's a piece of two. It's a piece of juju. No, but having said that, those all do have good claymation.
Yeah, you have to check a few of their other ones out. I think they had another one in development here coming out soon. I just don't remember what the one was called. And while you're looking for that, I guess the next thing I was going to talk about was Soul. It's coming to Disney Plus on December 23rd or 25th, which was supposed to be a movie release in the theater release, but they, I guess, decided to make it now go to stream on their site, and they said it's not going to be a charged movie, so this is going to just be free out the gate for Plus subscribers.
That's pretty interesting. So apparently there's nothing on the docket right now for them.
Okay, nothing right now. Okay,
maybe it
was another studio. I don't know.
Just learn that they did do contract work, which is interesting. So they contracted out the Corpse Bride. That's actually not their film. They made it, but it's not their film.
Okay.
I don't even know Slacker Cats, but
never heard of that one.
They did animation sequences for King of California, and then they did animation sequences for a very Harold and Kumar 3D Christmas.
Hey, okay,
and then they have one short film in 2005 called Moon Girl, which is animated.
Never heard of it. Okay. All right, a sequel's being in the works too for the Addams Family animated movie that came out not too long ago.
I still haven't seen that. I really should watch it. I love
sure.
the Addams Family.
Yeah, check it out. It was pretty good.
Does it have Pugly?
Yeah.
What about
they're all
Pubert?
in it. They have which is really fun. They have Snoop Dogg playing Cousin It in it.
The show,
which is really funny.
That is actually hilarious.
See, it looks like Resident Evil's coming back too as well. They're doing a reboot. They already got a couple of the cast members that they're going to do for that. Selena is supposed to be coming out December 4th, a Netflix series that they're doing.
On Selena? Selena? Or
Selena's.
It's Selena's. Hey, tell him that your bumper got knocked out by Selena. Sorry, gotta relive our history.
And then Jurassic World Dominion is not coming out until 2022 January or June. Sorry, June.
Yeah, we've basically confirmed that until early to mid 221, we're not getting shit.
Probably.
We'll get Wonder Woman in December.
Yeah.
If it doesn't get pushed back again, which so far you still can't have big meetings, so the movie theaters are not getting crowded, and
like Matrix is delayed till 2022. The Matrix 4 it got moved up to 2021, so who knows if that will actually come out that day.
Right.
I think that was kind of on my list here. I just know that we talked about the MODOK stuff, which Patton Oswalt's doing that, right?
Is he? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's the one that's doing
MODOK? Or is he doing the whole...
He's doing the whole show, I think, from what I heard. He's a real... I didn't know that, but he's a real superhero and action figure guy. I didn't know that at all.
I've never heard him talk about it. That's why.
I had no idea, but he talks about comics a lot.
Yeah, says animated series, voiced by Patton Oswalt, who will also co-write and
he did, yeah,
and is an executive producer with Jordan Bloom.
So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Patton's pretty cool in his own right, but we'll see.
I don't mind necessarily Patton. I guess we'll have to see what voice he takes. I think if he just takes his regular voice,
I hope he doesn't. Don't do the voice. If he does it,
he needs to do
I'm not
a
gonna take MODOK very serious.
Yeah, MODOK needs a bit of a voice that is not Patton Oswalt's regular voice. Which I like Patton Oswalt, but his
it does remind me of Robot Chicken a lot too.
Yeah, which I'm okay with, depending on how they go with it. That's the thing, is really what it's going to be about is going to be the most important thing than how it looks, I feel like, in this case, because
how do you do a show on him? That's the thing.
Right, what is it going to be about? Is it a comedy? I feel like if it's Oswald, then they're making fun of MODOK, right? Like, it's going to be a comedy, kind of.
It's going to be something like that, yeah, along those lines.
And I'm all right with that, depending on how they do it, but I don't know. I just don't know what concept. Here, what is the concept for a MODOK TV show? Let's see what's going on. MODOK, upcoming animated American stop motion comedy superhero. Jesus Christ! All right, listen to this description. Simply, MODOK is an upcoming American adult animated stop motion comedy superhero web television series.
Web television.
Huh. Anyway, created by Jordan Bloom, Patton Oswalt, produced, blah, blah, blah. Patton Oswalt stars as MODOK, a supervillain struggling to handle his company and family. That's it. That's all. That's what we know. So I think it will be kind of a supervillain slice of life, probably, kind of thing. Okay, here's the premise. After spending years failing to gain control of the world and battling superheroes along the way, MODOK, having been removed from his company AIM after it falls into bankruptcy and is sold to rivaling Grumble, begins to deal with his tainting family. Tainting? Okay. While facing a midlife crisis. So, I mean, I think we kind of hit the nail on the head.
Okay.
From what we're talking about. I think that it could work well. I don't think it's a very long-lasting series, no matter what. Besides the fact that MODOK's not a big character. I mean, maybe...
Don't care for him.
Maybe if they can... if they can make the crutch of it Patton Oswalt and make Patton Oswalt people like it. I think that's going to be their biggest hope for this.
Right.
Because I just don't know. And then you've got a couple people confirmed in the roles. So we've got Patton Oswalt as MODOK. You got Amy Garcia as MODOK's wife. Ben Schwartz as MODOK's son. And Melissa Fumero as his daughter. That's pretty much all I'm really recognizing. Oh, what? They gave him to fucking MODOK? No. They're putting Gary in here.
Gary from
Gary the AIM agent.
Oh, really? From Deadpool?
Yeah.
Huh.
It says at the bottom, Sam Richardson is Gary, MODOK's loyal henchman who is constantly optimistic. Sound familiar to any other AIM agents you know? How dare they steal Gary from Deadpool? That's actually might kick it up a notch. We'll see. Maybe there'll be some good interactions. What'll happen?
Yeah, with MODOK and him. Yeah,
it looks like they're taking once again. It looks like they're taking the kind of slice of life supervillain approach, where it's like, yeah, MODOK has a wife and kids, and
this is what he does.
Yeah, does what he does. I actually didn't check.
Pretty much it on my list here too. Did you have anything on comics?
I mean, we have X of Swords and shit. What else is there? Shit.
I only got to check out the new Amazing Spider-Man. There was the 850th issue that they came out with. I don't know. We'll see. It was okay. It did bring back the Green Goblin, which is cool. We'll see how that goes.
I mean,
they were working together in this issue, which is funny.
It's always up and down for me. Like, I understand that you have these classic supervillains, and they're huge parts of the mythos, so you can't just like sideline them or get rid of them. At the same time, yeah, the truth of the matter is sometimes you need to, if you ice a villain, you need to keep him on ice for a little while. Not even kill him, just like if you've stuffed them in a mental hospital, like, it doesn't feel as good if one chapter they go in and the next chapter come out. I think it has been a while for the Green Goblin, because he hasn't been around since the Red Goblin stuff, right?
No, he's been we haven't seen him for quite a while. So I think that's why they kind of were like, it's time to kind of bring the light back on him, I guess.
just don't know what they're going to do with him at this point. They've written him in such a weird corner.
They're doing more of this. I don't know. We'll see, because there's this whole bigger story that he's been writing up to Nick Spencer with that Kindred character, since the first issue.
Are
actually,
we still waiting for Kindred?
Yes, we're finally, I think, getting to finally to the big issue here of him. They're gonna finally, I think, start to show us who he is now in these next couple issues here, starting to happen. Because there was a big kind of reveal towards the end here, and he looks at a gravestone, I believe, but they don't show us who the gravestone is. So it's most likely him looking at his, who he is, and so again, I think they're finally getting to who the hell this guy is. So I read that. There was a couple of that stuff. I read the new Thor book, which was okay. It was pretty good. I read the new Transformers Back to the Future with Gigawatt as the new Transformer.
Oh, wow.
The DeLorean. They actually have a toy coming out. I actually pre-ordered him coming out in January from Hasbro. Nice. It's pretty cool. I was like, that's pretty awesome. So yeah, that one's coming out for that. Neil Gaiman came out with a book as well called North Mythology, which is I guess a novel he did anyways, but this is the comic book form now of it. And this is just his take on North mythology tales.
I just hope it's not too similar to the stuff he did for Sandman.
It doesn't feel like it. There's this one issue, right, where they talk about, and it's kind of like it's like an anthology kind of series, because like it's not like one complete story. Like they'll be talking about one thing, and then like there's a whole different story, and it even says at the top, the treasure of the gods. and this is about Thor's wife, who's Sif, right?
Yeah.
And they talk about her long golden hair and how they wake up one day and she's just bald. Like here she is, all just like, "Where's my hair?" So I was just like, "Oh my gosh!" So that's pretty funny. And then Thor already knows who the hell did it.
I mean, doesn't everybody?
His evil brother Loki, the jokester god, so the trickster, and he just comes in here and just like whooping ass, just saying, "You better fix my girl's hair." And he's like, "Well, what do you want me to do?" And he's like, "Well, I know where to go." Finally, he goes, he's gonna go talk to the dwarfs, and he tries to get the two different like clans of dwarfs to build him the hair, so he doesn't have to pay them or anything, because he gets them to like say, "Oh, well, he says that you guys are shitty and you guys can't do nothing and everything," but like, and they're like, "No, we're the best." So then tries to do all that, trying to put it in their mind that like. So that's kind of how it starts off, and it ended up right there. So I think that will continue on to issue 2, but then maybe next issue we'll have like a complete different other list of like little stories there and there.
We'll just have
so
to see
it wasn't too bad. It was all right. So I read that. What else was here? I read this, or it was pretty cool. Hotel or Hell.
That looks interesting.
This is from the new publisher that came out. It's called Upshot, and they've been coming out with like more like mature kind of material reading, which is pretty good. They came out with another one called Archangel, and it's kind of like Michael the Archangel as like a Punisher type character.
That sounds interesting.
So yeah, they did that. So I read a couple of those ones. There was only 4 issues too, and they were kind of like issues that it was a different person through each issue, and but then they kind of connected back to each other somehow or some way. They would just throw like a little scene from like, "Oh yeah, I remember reading that from last scene," and then so that's what was happening when they were looking through the door. So yeah, it was kind of cool like that. I like that little thing. What else did I see? Avengers Wastelands I finally read.
Oh yeah,
finished that off.
Yeah.
Because they finally put it out to print. Black Widow I read, which was actually not too bad. I finished reading up that one. Red Mother, which is good. Oh, you should check this one out. It's called Inkblot.
Inkblot.
From Image.
It looks interesting. I like ones with decent covers are always important for me. If you didn't catch me in the cover, I might not even pick up the comic.
I think I picked it up because the cat. The cat's pretty cool. He plays a pretty important part in the.
So they did have some interesting releases from the main stuff that is outside of their one. They started a new series in DC called American Vampire 1976.
Oh, I did not hear about this.
Yeah, here, let me put an image of it down in the chat or whatever for Discord. Oh shit, man. But it looks a little like this. So, like I said, covers are usually it for me. So if I see a cover or a title I really like, I pack it up and I see what it's about.
That's usually that gets me, yeah.
See, is there?
Oh yeah, I did see that. I do remember seeing that in the slits.
Yeah, it's pretty good so far. It's got a somewhat slow start, but it's all right.
Okay.
Besides that, I've been trying to get into stuff like they have this Sword Master, which is part of their anime run. So I've been trying to catch up on their anime runs.
Yeah, that one hasn't been too bad too either. I said it has its own little thing it's doing. So
and then you just had the classics. There's a lot of X-Men stuff this week. Got Deadpool, Marauders, X-Force, all that shit. Thor was pretty interesting this week, and they just started.
I thought they were gonna do more with that character, but it looks like they were just he was just trying to set a scene, it looks like anybody can grab Mjolnir right now.
That was it. It was to show that anybody, and they hinted at it in the last one. He said it's not that I can't pick up Mjolnir, it's just that everybody else can now.
Which is why now? So
well, it was cool. It was. And then they released Champions Outlawed.
I was just about to finish that up. I wanted to read that tonight too, because Outlawed was really good. I enjoyed Outlawed, the last issue that they came out with. And then Champions I heard was pretty good too, so I wanted to check that out too today. So I'll probably finish that up. You should probably read this too. I've been reading this book. Pretty violent.
Looks interesting. It's got a different style than I usually run to, but
here, let me show you. Hold on here. Because it's not like your normal.
This isn't your granddaddy's Animaniacs. Yeah,
so like
that's
her getting her eye punched out, like literally.
That's funny.
So yeah, it's really cool art. I like it. It's really gruesome for sure. But it's about this Supergirl who wants to be a superhero, but all her brothers and sisters are supervillains.
Oh, well, that's interesting.
So, and she tries her hardest to be a superhero, but she like just fucks everything up. She like does everything the wrong way. Like she's like, there's this one part where she's supposed to like, it was like a lava monster or something like taking over the world, and she like did a whirlwind and whatever, and like it all went away. But when she did that, she like grabbed all the civilians with it, and they all died with it. She's like, oh, I did good, all the villains are gone. But then she's like, yeah, but everyone's dead.
Everybody is like, I saved the city. Everyone's dead. Save the city. With that said, I think we're hitting up on our edge time here for the end.
Yeah.
Are there any other things we wanted to cover before next week?
No.
You
need to read the Alien original screenplay too, if you can get a chance to check that out.
Oh yeah, I forgot. When did that one come out?
That one came out a few months back. I've been waiting for the Predator one to come out because that was supposed to come out, but
yeah.
I don't know when that's coming out now because I haven't heard anything about it now. So
yeah, it's gonna be one of those ones. That means I gotta go catch up on some of these series. But yeah.
Walking Dead. That's one last thing I want to say. Did you see that this came out?
Oh no, I didn't see that. The deluxe.
So Walking Dead, and I don't know how many issues they're gonna do, but they did a colored version.
Oh wow! All right. I guess that'll be a big sell for some. I mean, it wouldn't get my money, but that's because I liked it in the original black and white too. So
I liked it in the black and white, but it was just interesting just to be like, wow, color really changed. I'm not changed a lot, but I don't know.
I think that was the other thing is there wasn't. It wasn't like it was something like a space fantasy where I'm like, where's all the colors? It was
no. It was good. It really felt like one of those old school like walkie or zombie movies is what I felt like reading it all the time.
I'd have to look at it in person, but it looks.
But this art's different because 80s. This is Tony Moore's art. He only did like I think he did like the first 20 issues of The Walking Dead, and then after that, then it was Charles Ulster who did the artwork after that, from there to the ending of Walking Dead.
Yeah.
So that's why it looks a little bit more like it looks kind of cartoonish to me a little bit.
It very much. The color coding is like 80s cartoon kind of stuff, which is fine. But that's
it's fine. It's his own style, which is totally fine with me, and I didn't, it didn't take me out of the story. It has that like just cartoonish flavor to it, I guess.
For sure.
But it was cool. I just picked that up just because, like, hey, it's in color now. So,
it's in color now.
And I guess what they were trying to do is because this is kind of was a lot of the comic stores' moneymaker was Walking Dead, and it was one of those ones that they can for sure, buy a lot of and for sure kind of sell a lot of them still. And now that it's over,
that's what I'm wondering is if. I don't know if that's gonna pull the sales like they're hoping, but only
probably not as much. No, they did a couple variants. Yeah, they did I think they did like 4 or 5 variants for him.
Man, come on, 2 variants max, please. God damn it.
That's just how everything is nowadays. It's just ridiculous.
Well, we've talked about it. Everybody knows that's what's killing the industry, and yet we keep making them.
Yeah. But other than that, I think that was pretty much it. It was just that stuff.
For sure. Well, thank you everybody who showed up today or sees this later. We appreciate you watching, and we'll catch you next time on Comiconvos. We actually had a good amount to talk about this week, so thank goodness.
Yes.
If you enjoyed watching or want to support the channel, remember to attack that like button. Subscribe Subscribe on YouTube, follow on Twitch, or join our Discord using the link on screen or in the description below so that you can get daily updates on all of our uploads and live streams. We know we're not perfect and we can always improve, so please visit our Discord or comment below with a critique or a compliment to let us know how we can improve ourselves. Finally, if you're just starting for more content, you can become an honorary member of 3D Productions at patreon.com/3D and get exclusive access for as low as $1 a month.